Where is Achilles' tomb? Now, most of us know of the hero Achilles from the Trojan War, that he found his demise because he was shot through his Achilles tendon in the heel of his leg, because that was the only place that he was vulnerable. According to Greek mythology, Achilles was a hero of the Trojan War, the greatest of all the Greek warriors, and is a central character of Homer's Iliad. He was the son of Nereid Thetis and Peleus, king of Phthia. Now, Achilles' most notable feat during the Trojan War was the slaying of the Trojan prince Hector outside of the gates of Troy. Now, many say that he was also a giant. Linear B tablets attest to the personal name Achilles. The name grew more popular, becoming common soon after the 7th century BC. Achilles' name can be analyzed as a combination of agos, distress, pain or sorrow or grief, laos, meaning peoples or soldiers, resulting in the protoform Achilleos, who was the people distressed. He who has the people distressed, or he whose people have distress. I mean, that's the meaning of the word. Now, he was also taught by one of the centaurs, the centaur Chiron, who supposedly taught Achilles how to play the lyre. And as we said before, he was, from ancient texts, thought to have been a giant. Kindly support my Patreon account, since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. As far as Achilles' tomb, according to a Greek article, Achilles, the greatest hero of all time, the first among the first, the invincible king of the Myrmidons. Each of his decisions sealed the fate of his comrades in arms and enemies. It eventually became object of worship. He was an object, a person of worship for the ancient Greeks. Temples are dedicated to the worship of him, according to the lost Ethiopian epic poem attributed to the Arctic of Miletus after the death and burning of Achilles. As we know, the ancient Greeks used to have funeral pyres, and that's where they were turned to ash, right? Now, Thetis' mother took his ashes and placed them on the inhabited island of Lefki near the mouth of the Danube River. Achaeans erected a mound and inaugurated races in his honor. So if he was not buried. He was put on a funeral pyre, and his ashes were collected, put in a mound. In addition, the existence of an impressive temple and a legendary statue of the hero is mentioned. Commercial ports dedicated to the island of Lefki. And the worship of Achilles existed in Messenia and Laconia, areas of the Peloponnese, while there were temples in the Sporades Islands, Samos Island, Thessaly, and Epirus. In 1823, a sailor, Krzyzimski, discovered the ruins of an ancient temple on the uninhabited White Island. Of course, heroic worship is much more limited than that of the gods. Also, they developed mainly in areas related to the birth, the action, and especially the death of the hero. In this case, focusing on the island in the Black Sea, is spread widely to such an extent that Achilles is also referred to as Pontarch. I guess the Archon of Pontus, of the Black Sea. Another more probable burial place of Achilles is the place where the hero left his last breath, which is, of course, in Troy itself. It's there that even Alexander the Great himself went and worshipped the dead hero Achilles, the example of epic feats. In particular, although the Iliad ends before the death of Achilles, his death had been predicted. He himself ordered the Achaeans, with the death of his close friend Patroclus, who initially built a small tomb that would later be enlarged in order to house the two comrades-in-arms. The archaeological dig started in a mound near Cape Sigyon, and as it did not bear fruit, it moved to a neighboring area, Sivri Tepe. Schliemann believed that, who was an archaeologist who discovered Troy, believed that the tomb was in a mound in Kum Tepe, also the site where, according to Arrian of Nicodemia, Alexander the Great worshipped, was an even larger tomb, the Kesik Tepe, also known as the tomb of Demetrius. Of course, a few current efforts, searches, encounter significant problems, either from the Turkish government or from natural causes. Therefore, even if Achilles was a mythical figure, his cult and temples were real, and their ruins certainly have significant archaeological value. Well, I'm sure he's not a mythical figure because Alexander himself had him as a hero, and he went to worship the tomb of Achilles. Now, so he must have not been a mythical figure, but an actual archaeological person, a person of anthropology. Now, moreover, if the arrow of Paris killed the mythical hero, striking him at his heel, the historian, if he ever existed, is in danger of being lost. To be lost from the immobility of being struck in the heel, mental rigidity, and meticulousness of some expert scientists who continue to insist that the material of myths and ancient narratives is in no way related to historical reality. Well, there must be a lot of historical reality associated with mythology. This was from Argolikinisi from Greece, a Greek article. I've translated for you from the Adrastika. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.